Here's your wrestling news for December 1st, 2022. And we're kicking off with AEW as Dynamite saw the first appearance of MJF since becoming world champion, though his title win came thanks to a big assist from William Regal. On Dynamite, MJF began by criticizing the AEW World title's ugly appearance and had Regal unveil the new championship design, calling it the Big Burberry Belt. The new design features a Burberry brown strap, and MJF said that his allegiance with Regal came about when the former Blackpool Combat Club manager saw the potential in him to become the greatest villain of our time. MJF added that he will be the world champion until the bidding war of 2024, and like he's previously stated, he will use his status as the top star to get the highest contract in wrestling history. The Devil himself also turned his attention to lengthy reigns of the past, saying he will make the runs of Hulk Hogan, JBL, and Jeff Jarrett look minuscule. His most scathing line was saved for the late, great Bruno Sammartino when MJF said, "I'm about to have a world title reign that is going to make that schmuck Bruno Sammartino roll in his little grave." Another legend MJF decided to make reference to was Triple H, as he said that his reign of terror had just begun. For anyone unaware of the comment, many fans dubbed WWE's consistent runs as world champion from 2002 to 2005 as a reign of terror, especially as he beat popular stars including Booker T and Goldberg. In the closing moments of his promo, MJF spoke about how much he likes and respects Regal before socking the British legend with a pair of brass knuckles. Punching Regal in the neck, MJF made his exit through the crowd, but only after telling the legend he was stupid for making a deal with the devil. The attack was called out by fans online, who speculated that maybe the rumors of Regal leaving AEW and returning to WWE may be more than just rumors after all. Eddie Kingston had his own response to MJF's comments and his attack on Regal, branding the new AEW World Champion a f***ing child. Following the assault, Regal was carried out on a stretcher, and cameras backstage caught Regal, interestingly with Bryan Danielson, being taken from the arena in an ambulance. It had previously been reported that Regal's contract was set to expire in a couple of months, but it has since been clarified that the Brit signed a 3-year deal with AEW last spring, meaning he's under contract until early 2025. Of course, Tony Khan could simply release Regal from his current deal with AEW, but we can't see why the company president would make that call, especially with reports that WWE are interested in rehiring the gentleman villain. When William Regal turned on Jon Moxley at Full Gear, fans were excited at the prospect of MJF and Regal being on the same page, but MJF was quick to dash those dreams this week and loved every single minute of it. Last month, WWE Spanish presenter Quetzalli Bulnes had a spot at a WWE live event with popular vlogger Fallback, but this wasn't something the promotion had planned. Instead, Bulnes wanted to give a spot to a real-life friend, as the pair have worked together in the past, but this has cost her dearly. When Ringside News looked into the matter, they learned that Bulnes has been released from the company, and a source from Solo Wrestling said the decision was because of this incident. This would explain why Bulnes has been absent from any WWE-related Spanish programming for weeks now, and she recently liked to comment on Instagram asking if she's been released. At the time, the stunt with Fallback drummed up controversy as nobody other than the two knew what was going on, and some even feared that Fallback had jumped the barricade to attack her, or Byron Saxton, who was also in the ring. Speaking about her release in a now deleted TikTok video, Bulnes confirmed her departure and also addressed her past alcohol dependency problems. "I no longer work with the company that I used to be a host, and I was with it for 4 years. I want to tell you that it has been a very strong journey for me in which I have completely avoided drinking, going out, in which I am living 100% all the emotions. I have to accept that I feel sad and a little lost, I don't know where I'm going to go, and even though I don't want to drink or doing anything else, I accepted this time for me to start using my Raj product, which has cocoa in it, and cocoa helps a lot with depression and sad processes, so let's start right now and I'll let you know all." Raj is a cocoa product from the Tarajia company, which Bulnes is a part of, and sells other stress relievers including CBD oil and adaptogens. Speaking further about her release, Bulnes added that, "I am living in a moment of mourning," as she's clearly upset about what happened. Bulnes was with WWE for many years before her departure, and while it's a shame to see anybody lose their job, perhaps she'll know better than to pull a stunt like this in the future. For over 800 days, Roman Reigns has dominated the entire WWE, and while he will have to lose the undisputed WWE Universal Championship one day, that may prove to be difficult with the Bloodline on his side. The family has proven to be extremely loyal to Roman Reigns since the group was formed, but one member seems a bit out of step. As fans have seen on TV, Solo Sikoa is often distant from the group and that isn't just part of his tough guy persona. According to reports, one idea being pitched backstage is for Solo not just to be the one who betrays the Bloodline, but for this to be revealed as the plan all along. The idea would be for Sikoa to have been sent as a mole by what is being referred to backstage as the Elders, and while specific names weren't mentioned, we expect that includes The Rock. It's no secret that Rock vs. Reigns is a match WWE is desperate to make happen next year, and it would explain why Sikoa is often so cold to the rest of the group. Sikoa made his main roster debut at WWE Clash at the Castle, aiding Reigns in his match with Drew McIntyre, but it may be time for Solo to go solo as the mole in the Bloodline. But what do you think? Do you like this idea? Or would you prefer something else? Let us know in the comments below. More from AEW as this week's Dynamite saw a ton go down, including the return of Hangman Adam Page. 6 weeks ago, Page was left motionless after taking a lariat clothesline from Jon Moxley during their AEW World Title match, and now the Cowboy is back with a vengeance. On Dynamite, Page returned by interrupting a promo from Moxley, and the two stared each other down before Moxley threw the first punch. As the two men went at it, commentary put emphasis on the fact that Page was in Indianapolis, Indiana so that medical officials could check his condition, implying that he has not been cleared to wrestle just yet. Page has been with AEW since the very start, and plans for him to become AEW World Champion at Full Gear 2021 had been in the pipeline since the first days of the promotion. Now the Cowboy is back, and it's clear that he hasn't forgotten what Jon Moxley did to him earlier this year. The brawl between Page and Moxley was an epic way to kick off last night's Dynamite, especially as Jon hasn't been himself since being betrayed by William Regal. Page was in top form in the brawl, despite supposedly not being cleared to compete, but Moxley made a rare botch during the fight. During the brawl, the pair of former world champions made their way up to the ramp, but in the middle of the fight, Moxley tripped and fell off the ramp. Moxley was quick to recover and continued his brawl with the Cowboy, and the two were eventually forced out of the building. Given that Moxley fell off the ramp, which can cause disastrous problems if it goes the wrong way, this botch could have been much worse, and it was his pride, not his body, that was injured in the botch. We've got news from Andrade El Idolo now, as it was just a few days ago that the AEW star confirmed that he has undergone surgery after suffering an injury earlier this year. Andrade said it was the first time he has had to go under the knife, a testament to how safe he's traditionally been in the ring, but we now know more about what happened. On Instagram, Andrade shared the exact moment he got injured, which appears to be during a trios match against the Elite when both teams engaged in a six-man suplex. "This is the match where my injury happened. I leave you part of the match. You can almost imagine in which movement we can get injured. It happened to me in the six-man suplex almost starting the match, but I wanted to finish like a professional." Sure enough, Andrade did finish, but was seen holding his arm as he rolled out of the ring after the move. It is believed that Andrade will be out for some time, and still has heat for his backstage fight with Guevara and comments about AEW, but we're wishing the former NXT champion a very speedy recovery. Andrade El Idolo hasn't appeared on TV in quite some time after being sent home for starting a fight with Sammy Guevara. It's not exactly a secret that the former NXT champion has been unhappy with his booking in the company, and he's not the only one who thinks he deserves more. Speaking on the latest episode of his To Be the Man podcast, Ric Flair was asked for his thoughts on how AEW books his son-in-law. "I like the stuff with Matt Hardy, but I don't think they use him properly myself, but I'm going to be, obviously, biased. I think he's a much better singles performer than he is in tag matches. It's to be determined." I know that's a very sensitive tear. It was a bad tear, so he's going to be out for a while with it. Both Andrade and Flair believe that El Idolo deserves much better than what AEW have provided so far, but between his injury and his issues backstage, it'll be a long time before Tony Khan is willing to give him a push. And we're ending today with the USOS, who recently broke the record for the longest reigning tag team champions in WWE history, defeating the previous record holders, The New Day, to make history. Jimmy and Jay have been on a roll for quite some time, and now the brothers have another accolade. As of last night, the USOS have reached 500 days as WWE SmackDown Tag Team Champions, having dethroned the Mysterios for the titles at Money in the Bank last year. With reports of the two holding the titles until WrestleMania 39, this number is only going to grow as the USOS continue to make a compelling case for being the greatest WWE tag team of all time. That's it, guys. That's your wrestling news for today. Make sure to check out our channel for amazing wrestling content. Also, subscribe to our channel for daily wrestling news.